All right, so this is the horse arena that's going up. This is one of our larger buildings. This is site inspection. We're looking at the site cleanliness, the quality of install, all the bracing for the trusses, making sure they got their W's in place, their X's at the right intervals. Just a basic quality control check. All right, let's go. We're gonna go inside and just start with the truss bracing. We're gonna check it out, make sure they got enough bracing in there. Well, obviously we don't want these coming down in a windstorm. Well, the first thing we're looking for is just their W bracing along the bottom side of the trusses. Make sure they got it on the hole, down the whole way. We're checking for sufficient X bracing in their trusses on the king posts as well as in the corners. It looks like they got quite a bit up there. That's good. From what I'm seeing here is they have plenty of bracing. They got their lateral bracing, which is the bracing on the bottom cord of the truss every 5 feet. It looks quite good. I don't see any missing boards. Also looking at to see how straight the trusses are from one end to the other, and they're looking very straight. We're gonna go check out these window details just to see how they installed the poly as well as the spray foam. So one of the things I noticed is that they put too much spray foam. I don't generally like to see spray foam coming out here. When they come here to clean this up and to cut it out, quite often you can have guys cut the poly and ruin that vapor barrier. So I don't like to see that. I like to see it more like this, where it's nice and clear. You don't have to come back and cut anything. Then it's behind the threshold, no extra work needed. This was done, too much spray foam, that'll have to get fixed. And we'll have to make sure that they don't cut the vapor barrier when they do fix it. I also noticed that they left their temporary shims in just to get accurate gapping at the top and the bottom. They'll have to take these out and they'll have to spray foam in there as well. Couple errors here. They have the treated 2x4 down here. This will have to be removed and swapped out for a treated 2x4. We don't want any non-treated lumber near ground level. We just like to confirm all the doors are framed in good, locks are operating, and the latches are all operating really well. So we'll check over there so we're not in their way, and just make sure all the trims around the doors look good. So we can see that we got vapor barrier here, which is good and all, but the problem is it goes on the inside, but on the interior of the building over here, there's no way to tie it in. So that's going to be a problem for the future, especially after you have an overhead door in here. So the best way to fix that is they'll have to uninstall these trims and put a new piece of poly in there and bring it out here to give us a tie-in for future install. They sacrificed the poly and they put it on the outside here when it's not needed. It needs to be further in. That way you'll have enough poly to tie in on the inside. Looks pretty good. It's pretty level. Did a good job at installing their screws. They're not over tight. The washer's not cracking. It's not bulging out of there. That's one of the things we look for, is checking all the screws and making sure that they stand up to the weather. As soon as they get over compressed, they'll start breaking and they won't last long at all. But these ones are looking really good. I see that we check to make sure that when they use treated wood, that they put galvanized nails in there. If you don't use galvanized nails, then they'll corrode. It does look like they use the right ones. One of the checks that we do is checking the site. We want to make sure that there's no nails or screws laying on the ground. There isn't a bunch of garbage laying around. We want to make sure that we're taking care of our customers' property. We're here for a short time, not a long time, and we want to make sure we leave a lasting impact and hopefully not have an injured animal when we leave here. Looking good, guys. The wainscoting looks great. So because this is not a final, generally on a final inspection we'll do a final report. And we'll check for some of these items I pointed out now just to confirm they got fixed. Right now, after I go over this inspection, I'll do a check and then go speak with the supervisor and ask him to complete the changes as well as to send the photos that the changes have been completed. Because we don't want them to be forgotten or for them to become a bigger issue later. We got to make sure all of our buildings are to the same standard. So we got to check for the quality and make sure that every building that we're giving customers is up to quality. They pay good money. They deserve to have solid buildings, and so that's what we strive to do. And these quality control checks are just one of the ways we do that. They've done a great job with the framing. They barely need any sort of checks for it. We do still keep an eye on it, but from what I'm seeing, the guys did an excellent job framing this one. I'm not worried about the framing. There's a couple improvements we can make, which we'll talk to them about. So today we found a few things. We need a couple tools replaced, a couple improvements we can make, and I'll go take care of the guys and get that done.